Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my people all over the world. Welcome back to my channel. It is still your one and only 24/7 news buzz. We are here once again to bring you another fresh update concerning the IPOB. And just like we have been dropping our updates back to back as it is hot. So based on Simon's Ekpa'S recent sentencing and because of how the online medias are tagging Simon Ekpa to IPOB have strongly come out publicly to disassociate itself from Simon Ekpa and its activities. But before we proceed, please subscribe, like and share this video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to receive our updates promptly. So based on our update, the indigenous people of Biafra, better known as IPOB, has once again made a strong statement to the world. The group has distanced itself completely from Finland-based agitator Simon Ekpa following his conviction for terrorism-related offenses. IPOB insists that Ekpa has never been a member of the organization and they want the international community to stop linking him to their struggle. But to fully understand this development, we need to go back in the time, back to the roots of the Biafra question, the Zoo Nation civil catastrophe and the rise of IPOB. The Biafra movement dates back to the late 1960s. In 1967, following deep political tensions, ethnic tie-ins, and disagreements in the Zoo Nation, the eastern region, led by Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, declared independence as the Republic of Biafra. This declaration led to a civil catastrophe between the Zoo Nation and Biafra, lasting from 1967 to 1970. The catastrophe resulted in massive destruction and the deaths of more than 1 million people, many of them civilians who died from starvation due to a blockage. Although Biafra was defeated in 1970 and reintegrated into the Zoo Nation, the idea of the Biafran independence was never completely wiped out. Many Igbo people in the southeast still feel marginalized politically and economically, and this feeling has fueled renewed calls for self-determination. In the early 2010s, a man named Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a British Zoo Nation broadcaster, started championing the cause for Biafra through a radio platform known as Radio Biafra. His voice became popular among many young people in the southeast. Kanu eventually found IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, as a movement seeking to peacefully achieve self-determination for the Biafran people. Over time, IPOB became the most recognized group advocating for Biafra independence. However, the Zoo Nation government banned the group in 2017 and declared it as a terrorist organization, even though IPOB insists in its non-violence. In December 2020, IPOB announced the formation of Eastern Security Network (ESN). According to IPOB, ESN was set up to protect communities in the southeast and south-south from attacks by armed herdsmen and criminal gangs. While IPOB insists that ESN is a defensive force and not a terrorist group, the Zoo government accuses ESN of being responsible for attacks on police stations, Zoo Nation facilities, and security personnel. In June 2021, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested abroad and brought back to the Zoo Nation under controversial circumstances. Since then, he has been held in detention by the Department of State Services (DSS) and is facing multiple charges, including terrorism and treasonable felony. Kanu's arrest left a leadership vacuum in IPOB. While the official IPOB leadership continued to function, another figure began to rise: Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa, a Nigerian living in Finland, became known after he started broadcasting online in support of Biafra following Kanu's arrest. He often declared himself as speaking for IPOB and later introduced the idea of a Biafran government in exile, naming himself as its prime minister. Ekpa became popular for declaring sit-at-home orders across the southeast of the Zoo nation. Days when people were forced to stay at home as a form of protest for Nnamdi Kanu's release. But these orders often led to violent spyings and economic hardship as enforcers attacked those who refused to comply. Many residents of the Southeast began to associate this insecurity with Ipob, even though Ipob's leaders repeatedly denied giving such orders. Recently, after months of investigation, a Finnish court sentenced Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison for terrorism-related crimes. The court found him guilty of inciting terrorism, financing violent groups, and supporting terrorist organizations. This judgment has sparked reactions both in the Zoo nation and internationally, with many immediately linking Ipob to the case. So, based on the linking of Simon Ekpa to Ipob came immediately to clear the air. Ipob released a strong statement through its media and publicity secretary, the group stated. Simon Ekpa has never been a member of Ipob. He has never held any official position in Ipob or in the Eastern Security Network. In fact, Ipob testified under oath in the Finnish court that Ekpa is not part of them. Even Ekpa himself admitted under oath that he is not a member of Ipob, but only a content creator. Ipob insisted that linking Ekpa's conviction to their movement is misleading and unfair. The group emphasized again that Ipob is a peaceful, lawful, and non-violent organization registered under international law. According to Ipob, anyone who engages in violence or terrorism is acting outside the framework of the movement. Ipob also reminded the world that its real leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is still in detention in the Zoo nation. They called for his trial to be conducted fairly and transparently in line with international standards. The organization appealed to the international community, the European Union, the United States, the United Kingdom, the United Nations, and even Finland not to allow Simon Ekpa's case to be used against Ipob or to overshadow Nnamdi Kanu's legal battle. In the Zoo nation, especially in the southeast, opinions are divided. Some people agree with Ipob that Simon Ekpa's activities have nothing to do with them and that he only used the Biafra struggle for his own personal agenda. Others believe Ipob cannot fully wash its hands because many people initially thought Ekpa was speaking on behalf of Ipob when he began his broadcast. What is clear is that ordinary people in the southeast are the ones who suffer the most from the violence, sit-at-home orders, and economic disruptions. Experts believe Ipob's latest statement is an attempt to rebuild its global image. If the world sees Ipob as violent or linked to terrorism, it would lose sympathy and support. But if Ipob is able to prove it is truly peaceful, then international law could favor its right to self-determination. Ekpa's conviction gives Ipob a chance to separate itself clearly and declare to the world that they are not the same. For now, Ipob has made its position known, saying that Simon Ekpa is not one of them. Ipob remains committed to peaceful self-determination. Nnamdi Kanu's case must not be mixed up with Ekpa's conviction, says its publicity secretary. But the question remains, will the Zoo government and the international community accept this clarification, or will they continue to see Ipob and Simon Ekpa as two sides of the same coin? The struggle for Biafra is far from over. The story of Ipob, Simon Ekpa, and Nnamdi Kanu will continue to shape politics and security in the Zoo nation for years to come. So my people, what is your opinion? Do you think IPOB has successfully cleared its name, or has Simon Ekpa already damaged their reputation too much? Drop your thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more updates.